everybody, I'm Beebs Kelley. Thank you so much for joining me for another video. Today we are going to take a look at Meg's new pet project, this mouthful, American Riviera Orchard Montecito. There are so many mistakes in such a short period of time. Let's begin by covering some of these errors that will hinder the success of this brand on its own, removing Meghan from it. If we were just looking at this as a brand, as an unknown, it's a disaster waiting to happen. Right from the start, as many have identified, the name is not catchy, it's not easy to say, and I guess this shows that Meg really doesn't understand branding at all. Because no matter how fancy you try to make something sound, if it doesn't stick with people, it will never work. That's why somebody like, say, Kim Kardashian made her shapewear line called Skims, because it has the name Kim in it still, it's very identifiable, and it's a name that will stick with you. It's short, it's easy to say, it's easy to remember, and it's clearly associated with her. So it worked. America Riviera Orchard Montecito is decidedly not easy to say, not easy to remember, and will not stick with people. It just won't. What even is it? Is it an orchard? Is it wine? We don't know. Really, for 2024, the trends when it comes to branding are simplicity. So she is very, very far from the current pulse of the market. The visual identity of a brand really relies on minimalism right now. Less is more. Brands all over the place are trying to simplify their packaging, their logos, their signage, all of it. You'll notice in stores the decluttering of logos and brands. So Meg clearly missed the memo on that because this is just very much not simple at all. The bad calligraphy on this, some people say looks like boobs. I don't know, maybe a little bit. To me, it just looks really messy. It looks really overdone. It looks like it's done by somebody who's an amateur calligrapher who wants to make it look fancy but failed. It looks bad. It looks B-team. And on top of it all, it's just not good branding. Branding is something that sticks with you. Apple, Windows, Campbell's, these types of brands that are just very iconic in their image, it's simple. It's not this. It looks complicated and muddled and messy. The most identifiable letter in this is M, presumably for the Montecito part of it or the Meg, I don't know, but that's not the main initials of the brand, which are ARO, so it maketh no sense. She is literally making her brand forgettable by not sculpting a more memorable, simple, bold, straightforward design. Let's be clear, this is marketed as something that she's selling, whether that's content, products, jam, yam jams, all the jams, I don't know. So the brand strategy should be paying attention to consumers and what the current trends are to be successful as a brand towards consumers. It's a consumer-facing situation. So that means that consumers identifying it and being able to latch onto that branding is vital. And she's just ignoring that temperature, so it will be to her detriment as usual. Just because she thinks her calligraphy logo is cool doesn't mean that it will connect with consumers at all or be a marketable design in any way, shape, or form. Right now, what stands out in the oversaturated state that we are in is bold, clear logos that are simple and sweet and to the point. So this is really kind of overstimulating despite the beige, beige, beige. Consumers are also more well-informed than ever before, so that means they're increasingly interested in transparency. They demand to know brands' practices. They want to know that they are a moral brand, responsible sourcing. Stuff like that has become important, which isn't exactly a good thing for the Meg because she does have a really bad track record. She lies a lot and is notoriously not transparent at all, which can be a really big turnoff for consumers, especially young consumers. They don't want to buy something from somebody who lies about how it's sourced. So if Meghan tries to put smoke screens up around any aspect of this business, it will spell trouble for her, especially for the untapped youth demographic that is going to be the hardest for her to reel in. Of course, a chief asset to any brand has always been, but is increasingly important, is authenticity. That's why, for example, Catherine, the Princess of Wales, is a good brand in many ways, despite not trying to be one, because she is authentic, she is genuine. And that's why she has such a great draw at her events and in the press. And with fashions that she wears, they sell so well. It's in part because of her genuine authenticity that people have a sense of trust with her. That is just not there with the Meg. Meghan Markle and Prince Harry's lack of authenticity will negatively impact this business venture for sure. Let's pause for a brief moment to thank the sponsor of today's video, Surfshark VPN, which improves your online experience and privacy in so many ways. You can access and unblock libraries, streaming services, and apps by changing your virtual country or location to gain access to your favorite geo-restricted content. Surfshark VPN also secures your online data using encryption to protect your personal information when you're on free public Wi-Fi. This means that your location and your download history are not linked to your identity, which sounds really complicated, but really what it means is that you don't have to worry about your online security and privacy thanks to Surfshark VPN. The last thing you need when you're on vacation or anytime really is to have to worry about your online security and privacy. Surfshark solves that problem. So if you're ready to give them a try, you can use the code BeebsKelley to get an extra 3 months free at surfshark.deals/BeebsKelley. It also comes with a 30-day money-back guarantee, so there is no risk to you. Just click the link in the description box below to get started. Thanks again to Surfshark for sponsoring this portion of today's video. Many people have pointed out that no part of this little video thing is unique. None of it is. Every aspect of it is a copy of various people before her. It has a striking resemblance to Gwyneth Paltrow and Martha Stewart, and dare I say, her ex-husband, boyfriend, partner, who knows, who was a chef. So the whole concept is somewhat borrowed. And unoriginal content or ideas is not just a bad look, not eye-catching, and it doesn't sell. Like this bland color palette, it's just not gonna stand out. But beyond the lack of authenticity, we also have the problem of relatability. A ball gown in a mansion is not a good image. In a time of inflation especially, it will not connect to people. It just can't. Unless her target audience is a really small group of wealthy Olive Garden dwelling superfans, this is not the right image to use or project. It's also silly. It gives an almost comical, out-of-touch caricature of the Meg. Some of my favorite comments about just how awful this is, it does all boil down to the irony of don't look at me, don't look at me, don't look at me, buy my napkins. Of all the things the world might need right now, it isn't another aspirational lifestyle blog from someone incredibly wealthy, fresh from their mansion. Well said. We've had enough of that. We don't want any more of it. The trailer for the new company includes a dose of flower arranging and baking, which feminism-wise is fresh from Gilead, really. I like that one. It's true. And this from someone who doesn't dislike Meghan. She was even turned off. She says, I want to back her up, but everything about this new business venture isn't screaming anything other than sanitized goop. Exactly. It's borrowed. Enough said. There's probably a very small group of supporters that, no matter what, will buy into it. And there's likely going to be a crew of really morbid curiosity viewership or traffic to the website at first. But then, just like Archetypes, it will likely fizzle out due to a long list of miscalculations on the Meg's part or general shortcomings. Or certain people, like the Kardashians, who have had business ventures with certain things not go according to plan, are much less affected by it because they have built a big fan base that supports them a great deal and have already established their brand for decades. They have nepotized their brand and locked it in really firmly for well over a decade. So they can get away with a lot more. The same cannot be said for the Meg. This is a brand new thing. She does not have trust. She does not have a big fan base. She does not have that reputation that she can fall back on to where anything going wrong will not be a huge crash and burn moment. Any little missteps will be picked apart and will be tragic or detrimental to the brand or whatever ventures and avenues she tries to go from that point forward. She will have to be exceptionally careful in order to get even middling success with this. And also, you cannot ignore the hypocrisy, once again, of somebody who is just complaining about social media, saying how she stays away from it, to then within 2 days, launch something on social media. You can't make it up. Please leave your thoughts in the comments. Thank you so much for joining me for today's quick little update video. I hope you have a very happy day ahead, and I will see you next time. Bye!